to be. And the number two rule is to stay away from windows, especially windows on the south and west sides of the building that you're in. Those tend to be impacted by debris in a tornado that can break easily and that glass can come flying in. So let's again try and get down to the lowest levels and also make sure that you get down away from those windows. Ellen?
All right, so again, just putting this all into perspective, we have this line of showers and storms. We had a severe thunderstorm watch issued earlier today for the potential of storms that could produce very strong winds, lightning, larger hail, or a tornado. So as Bill just mentioned, all of those safety things that you need to keep in mind if you're in the line of sight of this particular storm that's on the south side of the Big Rapids area and headed towards Wilcox. This eventually is going to be getting closer to 131. So keep that in mind. Fremont right now, Newaygo, you're in the clear from the storm that has the tornado warning. That's this cell that we're watching here with that spin, a pretty good signature on the back edge side. So this is going to be moving towards 131 and eventually intersecting right around 549 or so. Keep in mind, though, that the tornado warning at this point in time is only out until about 5:30. So we're going to continue to watch this storm as it's developing because just like yesterday, we had a few of these storms that had those quick spin up tornadoes, but no actual tornado reports. That's why we'll just keep this going until about 5:30 and then watch it from there. So we're going to go ahead and clear off this latest track here, and we're going to zoom in just a bit on the storm itself. So hopefully we can do that in the Big Rapids area. And again, you'll notice that at first glance, there's nothing really significantly different about this particular storm. You might think that this actual storm is no different than any of the others, but it's the only one that has that tornado warning. And if we look at the different things associated with this particular storm, it's not necessarily even hail. Our hail tracker is stronger for that storm that just tracked through the Montague area in Muskegon. So Muskegon County, wouldn't be surprised if that storm is, as Bill mentioned, producing some fast winds, some gusty winds, and that's going to be getting closer to the Fremont and Newaygo area. That one is moving just a little bit faster too. We're anticipating that that one is going to be zooming in closer to about 28 miles per hour. That one should be headed towards Newaygo at about 6:11 or so. And then Fremont, the potential of some larger hail, some lightning, definitely some downpours closer to about 5:46. Again, this storm up on the kind of northern fringe of Mecosta and Newaygo, that one's only moving at about 20 miles per hour. So that one, again, we're going to zoom in on just so you can see the potential. We kind of cleared it out of the normal, kind of reflectivity mode so we can see inside the storm better. So that's why we have some of these different things on like shear tracks and hail tracks so you have a better idea of what's going on with that particular storm. Almost everyone else in West Michigan is kind of clear and dry at this point in time. We only have those strong ones on the northern fringe, but everyone has a chance of seeing some of those stronger storms roll on through as we go on throughout the rest of the evening. Again, this severe thunderstorm watch is all the way through until about 11 o'clock, and this line should be dropping down. Bill?
If you have severe weather to report to us in your safe location, you can contact us through email and also at 1-800-8-WOOD-TV. Once again, that number is 1-800-8-WOOD-TV. But make sure you're safe to begin with. And also, we are streaming live now on your phone at our Wood TV Facebook page. So if you're heading down to the basement, you can follow the storm activity on your phone while you're down there. We have a storm shelter in our house. By the way, you can see the rotation that's occurring there. This is up in Newaygo County.
We're staying on this. We're staying on Wood TV 8 with this warning until further notice. We're staying on this until further notice.
Together like that means the air is coming from different directions. We have air incoming from the east, and then there's a wind shift. And the wind comes in from the west. And again, these storms have produced hail and strong winds as well. While if there is a tornado that occurs with this, it would hit a relatively small area. Much larger areas will likely see some strong winds and the possibility for some hail. We've had reports of hail 7/8 inch or just slightly under an inch in diameter in both Oceana and in Muskegon counties, and 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. The picture that you see up there is Fremont, and you can see there's some rain falling right there at the current time. Fair amount of lightning with some of these storms as well. I don't want to minimize that either. We have a lot of lightning with these storms. That's great danger. In fact, we often see more people injured by lightning than by tornadoes with cells like this. This particular cell you can see is increasing in intensity, and it seems to be moving pretty much due east across the area. So it's going to slide right through that polygon, that red polygon. That's the tornado warning. And again, that is in effect here for about another 17 minutes or so. We've had no reports of tornado touchdowns. This is rotation indicated by radar, strong enough that this has become a warm storm. Keep in mind, in a tornado situation, one of the greatest threats we have is flying debris. Anything as simple as a small twig can become
This storm warning is
weapon,
not affecting
picked up by
the headquarters. Our headquarters is nowhere near the storm. Our headquarters is over 100 miles away.
Force equals mass times velocity.
If you guys want to know where we are, our headquarters is nowhere near the storm.
Create a lot of force, and that certainly
We're currently safe at this time.
So we've just heard that so far we're not seeing any power outages in that area. That's a very good sign. Usually that's one of the
I
first
would next slide. They're
indicators
showing
that we
rotation on the
see
radar.
damage is those instantaneous power outages that pop on and we can view online. So if you're in this area, it doesn't mean that the threat is zero. Again, there's pretty decent rotation associated with this storm that is triggered through tornado warning. A tornado warning just means the storm is not only strong, it means the storm is also producing enough rotation that it could drop down a tornado at any time. That's why it's been giving a warning. Usually this local National Weather Service office usually will issue a severe thunderstorm warning with the possibility of a tornado if the rotation is weak. But the rotation in this magnitude has actually triggered that tornado warning through 5:30. And this is again for Newaygo County and Mecosta County. If we look again inside the storm so we can see where that rotation is, and we use that blue color to indicate the area where we're seeing the best rotation. Okay, we call it rotation tracks. We can see where that pocket of strongest rotation
We're staying on until further notice.
Over the last
Our studio is nowhere near the storm.
Right over
Our studio is currently based in St. Joseph County, Michigan. We're about 100 miles from the storm.
Still fairly strong, so we're going to track that part of the storm.
This storm's 100 miles north of us.
At about 20 miles per hour here. This is going to put it in the Kane Field area at 534. Stanwood at 539. This is likely going to be staying south of Green.
If you have a question to ask me on the chat, I will answer your question.
Or Lily or Denver.
We are taking questions right now if you have any
showers
questions.
And storms around that have this similar potential of being strong to even severe. You'll notice if we just look at lightning as a threshold, the one that's passing into Newaygo County from the west, moving out of Montague, is just as strong. The only difference is it doesn't have that back edge rotation. And a lot of times with storms, we have to watch for that rotation to form when that storm
the station's closer to the storm than we are.
Existing boundary. So it's just a normal thunderstorm, and then once it rolls over something different, it can sometimes trigger that low level spin. And I'm betting that's what's happened here with this storm that's in Mecosta and Newaygo. Bill?
If we can go to Max 1 for just a second here, I want to take a look at the wide view. Many of you are not seeing thunderstorm activity at the current time, but will later on this evening. We've got a line of fairly heavy storms, which is out over the area from around Manistee on down to north of Milwaukee. And this particular line has a lot of lightning with it, a lot of rain with it, and it's been increasing in intensity. We think this line is going to continue to move off toward the east-southeast. So this will likely get into the Grand Rapids area probably around 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. So thunderstorms that are currently to the north of Grand Rapids will likely stay just north of Grand Rapids, but we will certainly be getting in on the storms later on. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch goes until 11 o'clock. We have some lighter showers down here just to the south of Kalamazoo. Those will continue to move off to the east. We'll watch those. Thunderstorms down here near the Jackson area are moving east. Those have not produced any severe weather. Yesterday, we had some heavy thunderstorm activity that produced some wind damage around Chippewa Lake and also over toward the Midland area. Let me turn the lightning on and off here for just a second so you can kind of see how much lightning there is here with these particular storms, quite a bit of it. And again, wherever you see that yellow and red color, there's some heavy rain. Earlier reports of water over the road on US 31 near the Manistee area. We've had reports of 78
it's over. That's a long way from here.
About as wide as a nickel in parts of the Whitehall area and also up near Mears in Oceana County. This is certainly a time to be staying off the piers and breakwaters as well. If you're open like that, you're kind of a target for lightning. So you want to make sure that we keep you safe there and
Better.
stay off those piers and breakwaters.
We're also
The
getting
line
good information on our other
here
channels, but
tracks into the Grand Rapids
if you're watching
area.
this storm is about 100 miles from our headquarters.
And down into Allegan
This
County
your
here
GR,
an hour after
so
that.
we're not
So
affected by this yet.
Even here in Grand Rapids.
But I do know I have a couple of viewers that live in upstate Michigan that watch us, so this is for them.
Later on
We have people in upstate Michigan watch our videos.
All right, so if we look again
So
at
it
the
was for them.
rotation with this particular storm, that's the reason why we have the tornado warning that's been issued by our friends at the National Weather Service. They're looking at all these different thunderstorms and pinpointing the ones that have rotation. And you can definitely see it on this one. You can definitely see that bullseye with that one storm. Now, I know it looks kind of messy at first glance here, but if we zoom in using Max 2 and show this line of showers and storms in particular, it's this one on the leading edge that we're watching. First and foremost, this one that's passing into the Big Rapids area. All of these have the potential of producing some very gusty winds and lightning, but this is the only one that we're seeing with rotation. For that reason, again, we have that tornado warning. So we're going to use a little bit of a cleaner tool than we usually do. Sometimes we'll actually show you velocity, and I will still do that. But I think this gives a very clear indication of the track history and the portion of the storm or the part of the storm that's rotating. So it's
I will.
literally the
Okay, bye.
track.
I told them Fox 17, which I will do that right now.
So you can see how it started very minimally, crossed at
Change over to
37.
Fox 17, guys.
For the most part on the north.
Because someone Fox 17 has more information on this.
Extend that or cancel it earlier, but that's the latest. 5:30 p.m. is the tornado warning for northeastern Nuevo County and western sections of Mecosta County right now. So any more information there, Kevin? I see you up there working hard.
There's nothing new from the National Weather Service. What I'm doing now is looking at the Consumers Energy outage map because this is almost instantaneous.
We're going back to 8 in a minute.
Encouraging sign. However, we have to keep an eye on that for any kind of lowering.
We're going to quick look around our
It's concentrated rain.
other
And
networks
starting
who's
to get
watching.
those downpours into Big Rapids. So
We're going to go back to We're going to watch channel 8 in a minute now.
Of the Mecosta Nuevo County border here. So just to the west of US
We're
131.
going back to channel 8.
the most dangerous part of the storm is
There is a
lagging
delay with
its
our.
tail.
If you're watching us, there is a
So if
little
we show
delay.
you the velocity,
There
you
is a
can start to
delay.
see with this
Like a
real-time
delay with our
update
station.
how that velocity and how that rotation
So you're
has
seeing
started
what we're
to track
seeing.
forward. What I like about looking at
Again,
this
that's the
view
delay.
is
Right
it
now the
gives
time
us
is
more
5:18
frequent
Eastern
updates,
time,
so that's
5:18
still
Eastern.
checking both really continuously
17
along with a
PM
whole bunch
Eastern.
of other different radar components and features. This shows that rotation, which is symbolized by the inbound green and outbound red here, is moving
What you're
closer
seeing
and
is what I'm
closer
seeing
to
for the first time,
131.
people.
So if we can put a forecast track on this, it looks like it should be
This is
crossing
Eastern
over
time
131
only.
at about 5:23 or so, picking up just a little bit of speed, and then continuing to the south side of Big Rapids about 5:26. Again, it's not uncommon with storms like this to start to see that southern fringe of that storm actually get a little bit stronger and to start to see that kind of shift where that center of rotation is. So for that reason, we're going to be watching that and that entire batch, that entire line. So we're going to be checking in now with our anchors with a few updates with it for us.
Okay, we're going to continue to follow this breaking news having to do with our weather situation in Nuevo and Mecosta counties.
The good news is we don't have any updates, no reports of damage, no reports of power outages. That's usually the first indicator that there is something going on.
That's right, but we will continue to monitor this. Let's turn things
Green,
back over
Michigan.
to Bill Steffen now.
We're zoomed into the thunderstorms. If you can go to max 1 here and show you the shape of the storm right here. Oftentimes when we get a storm like this, we have the leading edge of the storm where there's often some strong winds. Then you get into the main part of the storm where you have the lightning and the hail. If there is a tornado, it develops down here
Who's
in
the
the
local news
southwest,
at this
in
time?
the southwest corner. This is the place where there's a strong updraft. The air is lifting up
There's
into the
nothing
storm.
happening
It's
in our
very
area, but-
warm, moist air. And
Like I said, the run's about 100 miles from
and that's
here.
where you have this rotation. Just like the water spins going down a bathtub drain, you get a spinning motion as the air is sucked up into this particular storm. And that updraft can be very strong, upwards of 100 miles an hour or more. You can see there's a lot of lightning here. We're going to turn the lightning on and off and show you that at the current time. And there is another storm following this one too. That's going to be the pattern here overnight tonight. We'll put a track on this particular storm. By the way, I'm monitoring the weather station in Big Rapids. There are 5-minute updates here. The last update, the wind at Big Rapids, that's at the airport there, is east at 8 miles an hour. This particular storm crossing 131 here at about 5:27. And I wanted to put a track on the storm down here in this one, still in Nuevo County to the west of US Michigan 37, and that's over US 131 at 5:52. These storms will continue to move off toward the east. This is the one that's showing rotation, but any of these will eventually be able to perhaps
Stand
spill
right
the
over
small
the nose,
tornado
guys.
as they come on through here tonight. See, there's kind of a train of activity when we get what's called the train right here. Thunderstorms kind of moving one after the other over the same spot like this. You tend to get some very heavy rainfall totals, and that may be the case as well. So if you're traveling north on 131 or M37 or US 31, watch out for some pretty heavy rain. And once again, we have this fairly solid line of storms, which we expect to continue to increase, and that is going to impact areas as well. So even as the last storm moves out of the Whitehall area, and you've been hit by about 3 storms so far this afternoon, there's one more coming, and that one will come a little bit more from the northwest. I want to pull out just a little bit here and show you the wider picture. We continue to track all the storms that are here in our area, not just the tornado warning storm. And again, we've had no reports of any touchdowns with the tornado. You can see this red polygon, which is up here in Nuevo and in Mecosta County. That's the storm that is the most significant one out there right now. But there are other heavy thunderstorms as well. This activity moving off toward the east. We've got a line of showers here just to the southeast of Kalamazoo. Those are moving off toward the east. Those have increased a little bit in intensity as they develop, but nothing serious there. Thunder shower over toward the Jackson area, moving off toward the east. A lot of this area was hit by some pretty significant rain last night, so you certainly want to watch out for ponding of water and some fairly heavy lightning. Once again, I'll turn on and off the lightning here so you can see how much lightning there is. We're looking at hundreds of bolts with some of these storms right here, and a good portion of that is going to be cloud-to-ground lightning, so it's certainly best to stay inside. Just going over some of the tornado safety rules once again. The 2 things to remember is, number 1, get to the lowest floor that you can get to if you're in this polygon, again, Nuevo County and Mecosta counties. And also, you certainly want to stay away from windows. This particular storm over to Mecosta at 5:47. And into Isabella County at around 6 o'clock. So the storm is heading toward you. If you take a look at, again, the shape of the storm, this storm was fairly flat, and you can see this whole southern end of it kind of increasing here. You can see the motion coming around like that. A lot of intense lightning, especially to the north of where the shear tracks are here too. So that's certainly a concern. A lot of lightning with the storm, which is in the Fremont area too. And that is
okay. Thanks.
off to the
Bye.
off to due east.
Give me a call. Go to 8. Go to Shop Fox.
I'll put a track on that.
Thanks. Bye.
And we'll bring that particular storm across 131 into Montcalm County here in, let's see, put it in here at about 6 o'clock or so, over to Lakeview at 6:06. And all the way out of Montcalm County by around 6:24.
Each of these thunderstorms that we're watching here are kicking out some cold air as the rain hits the ground. And so we are starting to see a little bit of rotation with that storm in Fremont, also that one in White Cloud. But the biggest, strongest signature for rotation continues to be that storm that's moving on the south side of Big Rapids, between Big Rapids and Stanwood. Again, if we look at that storm in particular, you can see that it's still tracking pretty due east at this point in time, about 20 miles per hour. The tornado warning is valid until 5:30 here, and still we have not been seeing any damage reports from any of our media partners, any of our National Weather Service or meteorologists. If you're in this area and you can do so safely, let us know what you're seeing. Maybe wait until after the storm passes. But turning it onto velocity, which shows us the wind inside the storm, you'll notice that our velocity has a bit of a strong signature here for the storm south of Fremont.
Fox, go get mine.
I believe, which is, well, here's another one.
That's
This
from Fremont there. So let's
Fremont
look at this
footage.
out. Here's Fremont right here. The camera is right at one of the schools there. So to the south of this, we're getting some fairly strong wind speeds as well. So let's plot some of these wind speeds and see if it's going to give us an. These would probably be straight line winds if we're seeing that. Let me see if I can get something on this here. We'll delete this and we'll go to this and right there.
39.
39, not very
That's
high
really
there.
impressive.
43.
Is this storm relative or base velocity happening,
It will
Kevin?
be base velocity,
Base,
if I'm
okay.
not mistaken here. So,
Okay.
so anytime that we see the brighter greens, our thought may be let's plot some of the wind velocity and see. There doesn't seem to be anything strong there. It's all sub-severe or below severe levels of criteria, but there's a pretty good punch to that storm that is south of Fremont. So let's go back around the White Cloud area. Ty and I also seeing some kind of circulation there. This would be probably about 3,000 feet above the ground there around the White Cloud area. But the system, the cell that
are not included in that. That goes until 11 o'clock. You know, the focus of the storm.
the Big Rapids area, and especially just south of the Big Rapids area that you see there. We can leave this scene and go back quickly as we leave velocity. We'll go back to reflectivity at that point and take a look at things, Ty.
Yeah.
Strength to it. So it's just better safe than sorry. You want to get inside, you want to get the kids, go to one of those.
This is currently the only storm that's warned right now. Big Rapids is right in the middle of it.
With it at this point in time is moving east about 20 miles per hour here, and it has a lot.
On National Weather Service chat, I still do not see any confirmed reports of a funnel cloud or a tornado on the ground, but there's.
And they send out 5-minute updates here. The last update just a few minutes ago said the wind was calm. There was no wind there at all. The visibility was down to 2 miles in heavy rain, and there was frequent lightning there as well. So pretty good thunderstorm in progress there at Big Rapids, but at least at the airport, no reports of strong winds. Again, we have not had a lot of very many reports of power outages with this, and very often when you only get a few power outages, they're more due to lightning than the wind. Lightning tripping fuses here, and it's a while before those are reset again. But we certainly want to be encouraged by that. Also, the emergency managers have not reported any significant damage in either Newaygo or Mecosta counties as of this point. If you're traveling on 131 and you're going north, you're going to run into this storm. And if you take a look at radar the way it is right now, if we kind of go to max 1 right now, and we'll see if we can zoom in here a little bit. And show you that this particular storm is moving off toward the east, and you had it at about 25 miles an hour, 25. Okay, some of these storms may pick up a little bit in intensity. I think that one that's down toward Newaygo is moving a little bit faster than that. This particular storm has quite a bit of lightning in it as well. And again, if you're on the road, you're going to see visibility get reduced very quickly, and you might want to consider really slowing down as you pass through a storm like this. Again, this storm producing lightning, some heavy rainfall now. We've had no reports of tornadoes. The tornado warning is supposed to run until 5:30, and I have not seen any indication of what they're going to do with this, if they're going to extend it or not as of yet. So we'll wait till 5:30 here exactly, another minute or so, and we'll see if it disappears. And if it disappears, then we know it's over. That happens automatically on the map here. But again, if you've been just joining us here within the past few minutes, we've had a tornado warning for northeastern Newaygo County and northwestern Mecosta County. The tornado warning runs until 5:30. This is based
we're
upon
waiting to see if
rotation
it's clear here
in
at
the storm.
5:30.
And did it just disappear? It just disappeared at 5:30.
Yes.
So let's wrap things up here now and get to some of the day's news, and we will interrupt instantly if we see anything else that warrants that.
All right, Bill, Ellen, thank you for that. Again, we will stay on top of this. And we just checked downstairs at the news desk, no reports of any damage right now, no power outages, so that's the good news. Looks like it's just an intense storm coming through, but definitely we'll keep an eye on it.
Start to of course, we'll
Good,
stay
it's over with.
We'll pass along any updates just as soon as we get them. We'll be back right after this.
I'll be back in a second.
Yes.
Prosecutor Prosecutors presented more evidence today in Kent County Court as they try to prove Jared Chance murdered a Kalamazoo County woman. He is accused of killing Ashley Young, dismembering her body, tampering with evidence, and trying to cover up her death. Today, his younger brother testified in court. News Channel 3's George Rodas is live from outside the courtroom, which let out George just moments ago. What's the latest?
Well, Conrad Chance wrapped up his testimony for the day just before 5 p.m., right as we were going on air. And he recalls spending some time with his brother, Jared Chance, and Ashley Young, the victim. Quote,
Okay, the tornado warning is over with now from Newaygo County,
Conrad Chance
but we will stay on.
Jared pulled a
Tornado warning's in there right now, but we're going to stay on, though, either way, because I don't feel safe, okay?
His brother was being playful, joking around. But that was the last time Conrad remembered seeing Ashley Young. He was asked about the day he, his mother, and father visited Jared in Grand Rapids. Prosecutors asking him if that was the day before her body was found. So this would have been December 1st, 2018. December 2nd is when her body was discovered in Chance's basement. He did say he remembered going to Jared Chance's home with the family, and the family loading up their SUV with several items. But he couldn't remember specifically what day. And then he was a bit fuzzy on the details of what exactly was being brought into the vehicle and what happened afterward, where the family went after they went to Jared Chance's home and when they went back to the family's home in Holland.
Right now, the tornado warning is over right now, but we are staying on the air until further notice. We're still going to keep on the 11 stuff. The tornado warning is done with right now, so.
He struggles remembering things because of a diagnosed and medical condition, though he did not go into any details there. Now, at 6, we're going to detail another interaction with a separate witness here today, Demetrius Taylor, who testified as well today. I'll tell you.
Right now, the storm warning is still in affected area until
News Channel 3.
there is still
George,
some
thank you. Stay with News Channel 3 as we
warning
continue our
later
coverage
further
of this trial. We encourage you to follow our reporters on Twitter and on Facebook, and you can.
We're still under a
also
warning right now, but
on our
I
website.
have a tablet right here. So it's okay, but yeah. There still is a warning, but we're never. Yeah. There's still a warning.
My dad bought me my first Super Livins back in 1979 because that's where he shopped. Things have changed since then, but the quality of the clothing, expert service have remained
Now,
part of the living.
we were on Fox and NBC.
Today sentenced Francisco Muniz to prison for 2 to 15 years after he pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting 4 patients. Targeted investigators in samples broke this story months ago, and she was in court
Where's our
today.
school closes now? The tornado warning's no
This
way.
case is so disturbing, not only because these patients were sexually assaulted by someone entrusted with their care, but also because it appears 3 of the sexual
Ever dined in Paris one night and in India the next? Or the last?
Did not want to do that.
Warnings for issue for now. We're going to toss it back to the neighbors. All right, guys. Of course, we will keep an eye on that. We got much more news to get to as well right after the break. So stay with us.
But yeah.
Make tracks to Riverside Park for the 7th annual Park in the Dark 5K and 1 mile run and walk. Presented by Humane Society of West Michigan, Liar, and Fox 17. Go to parkinthedark.org to sign up for this.
It's pretty hot here. 3 hours, like in the 80s.
On it. Dimitri thinks he's doing all he can to manage his type 2 diabetes and heart disease.
But it's getting quite hot here. 3 hours. So if we have to, we will break. We will come back on later. If
They're
there's
investigating what went wrong and who, beyond Muniz, should pay for what happened to these women.
In a couple of years, he'll be out walking free, and we'll still be living with this.
Mr. Muniz, as I think again, you acknowledge.
Due to severe weather.
I was waiting for cheers, guys. Woo! Okay, there we go. As for Joaquin, critics are saying his Oscar lock is happening right now. Okay. All right. Some more news out of Toronto. Are we ready? Yes. There we go. Check out the weekend's new look. I didn't realize how much I appreciated and associated the weekend with his hair until he changed it all. And let's just say I'm digging that mustache straight out of the 70s, which was Ashton Kutcher's inspiration behind this look on Fallon.
So
flavored e-cigarettes. President Trump says he'd like to do it nationally. The president says his administration will propose a summer ban.
we're gonna be
Many critics
maybe going off
believe
now.
flavored vape products are
If it does
designed
come out again,
specifically to
we
appeal
will
to
come back on.
teenagers. There are also several cases of vape-related illnesses that are being investigated now.
Vaping has become a very big business.
So we're going there right now.
A giant business.
Until further notice, if a severe warning, like a tornado warning, doesn't come out effect in Michigan area,
We offer you
we will
all that we have, our unwavering
be on again.
loyalty,
But right now, everything is good. So thank you for watching, and if we have to, we will come back. But there was a tornado warning today. There was a tornado warning, ended about 6 minutes ago Eastern time. So when it comes out again, we'll come back on again with this. Is it clear now?
All schools in New York were required to observe a moment of silence today, ensuring those who weren't even born on 9/11 never forget. Well, people around the world are also remembering the victims of 9/11. Prince Harry holds a charity day every year on this day, and today he reportedly closed a $1.2 billion deal in London. This fundraiser benefits hundreds of charities in memory of the more than 700 employees who died in the World Trade Center attacks.
18 years ago this morning, thousands of people were murdered in brutal acts of terror in the United States, including many Canadians. Today, as we prepare to exercise our democratic rights,
thanks for watching. I'm going to go off now.
honor their lives.
First,
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau
no
took
silence.
a moment to honor the victims before launching his re-election campaign. Canadians will vote for their next Prime Minister on August 21st. Looking live now over Battle Creek, where a West Michigan Remembrance starts in about half an hour from now. People will gather in Camley Park to pay their respects. If it rains, the event will be moved to First Presbyterian Church. News Channel 3 does have a crew heading to this ceremony. Tune in tonight at 10 and 11 to hear personal anecdotes.
We'll be back on maybe later on for weather.
President Gerald Ford's son, Mike
Thank
Ford,
you for
is in Grand
watching
Rapids
today's video.
tonight for the West Michigan Community Day of Remembrance and Scout Salute. They'll be at the commemoration ceremony at 6:45 at the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum. And the Boy Scouts